you will never be able to manifest what you want, the life that you want, the wealth that you want, the abundance that you want, all those wonderful things that you dream of and feel like they're impossible. Sure, you can manifest some little stuff here and there, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about big life changes, things that you think are unattainable. You'll never be able to manifest those things until you stop being a reaction robot. And what that really means is that, remember, your manifesting mechanism within isn't broken. You already know how to imagine. There's nothing wrong with your imaginal act. There's nothing wrong with your how much you affirm or the way you say your affirmation, if it's past, present, future tense. There's nothing wrong with your desires. There's nothing wrong with you. However, what I keep seeing, and this was me too, you guys, like I'm not going to come on here and tell you something that I didn't go through, all right, is the reaction, the constant reaction to your own feelings, the reaction to your own thoughts, the reaction to your memories, to your dreams, the reaction to the circumstances, the reaction to all the things around you. This is what I'm talking about. A lot of you are afraid of being unemotional, yet look at the opposite of that. The polar opposite of being non-emotional is being a reactive robot. That's what I want you guys to see, is that is not where you want to be. You're not trying to be unemotional, and you're not but a lot of you, that's not what your problem is, right? Most of you, and what I've seen in my sessions, is the reaction robot. It's like you're reacting to everything. You're reacting to your thoughts, to your feelings, to your memories, to what you said, to what they said, to what your bank account says, to your bank balance. You're reacting to everything and everyone. And then the questions pour in. What does this mean? What does that mean? How do I react? What do I say in this condition? What do I do? What do I not do? It's a constant, if you look through the comments of all my videos, if you go on YouTube, go on to any coaching channels, YouTube, you'll see everything's emotional. Everything's about thoughts and emotions and circumstances about how do I not react to all of these things. It's about mastering you. It's about mastering you. It's not about anything wrong with your desire, anything's wrong with your imaginal act. There's no technique that you have to learn. There's no secret sauce to this. You're the secret sauce. And if you're the secret sauce, and you've heard this so many times, it's like, I am is who you really are. You're greater than your thoughts and feelings. You're greater than the circumstances. That's all cool. But how do we get you to start reacting? That's what this video is going to talk about. We're going to talk about how to get you to stop reacting to your own thoughts, your own feelings, to all the circumstances. Because until you master this about yourself, you will not be able to go to those levels or those things that you want to, because it involves you unidentifying with old versions of you that are still going to come around. They're not going anywhere. You created those other identities. Remember, you created those versions of yourself. Who you really are is the greatness. I am. Notice that the focus is always on I, on self, on you. Not the other thing, not the person, not the manifestations. It's you. You, if all the focus is you, and you're hearing this, everyone's telling you to focus on you, then the focus must be on you. Then the mastery must be about you. It must be you that you're putting all your attention on. And it's not about judging or belittling yourself in any way. No, it has nothing to do with that. It's mastering you. It's stop allowing everything that is not who you truly are to take control of you, to put a leash around you like a little lap dog, and it just drags you around everywhere. And it's like your feelings and your thoughts are just dragging you around like your little toy lap dog. And it's telling you, this is where we're going now, and that's where we're going. That's why a lot of people have a hard time meditating, because they say that they can't sit still. Either they start breathing heavy or their mind goes all over the place, right? Because the thoughts and the feelings are so used to being in charge. You're so used to believing them. You're so used to believing in your thoughts and feelings. You're so used to believing that everything you see is outside of you, that it's separate from you. You're so used to believing that you just submit to it. You just kind of like roll over. You just roll over and submit to everything that's happening. You say, I tried, it didn't work. You tried for like a little bit, and then you quickly, as soon as the thought comes up, it's like, yeah, I got you. She's so easy. He's too easy. Watch this. All I gotta do is remind him of this thing, and poof, poof, yeah, done. It's like done. It's like, yeah, I gotta figure it out. Watch. I'm going to show her this and watch her freak out. Boom, done. It's like you're being punked by your own thoughts and feelings, by your own circumstances that you created. You just forgot you created all of them. Thoughts and feelings come from your stories, from your identity. Your identity is driving the bus, don't forget. Your identity is driving the bus here. And the things that you hold on to, the things, thoughts and the feelings and the memories, even your dreams, everything's coming from within you. There's nothing coming from without you. Whether you're walking in your waking dream or your night dream, it's all coming from within you. There's no way around it. So there's nothing to be afraid of. There's only for you to master you, more of you. By the way, I'm really excited to announce I just put up on my website, and I just opened up the signups for my first live course event. I have 3 other little courses that a lot of you have purchased and are familiar with, and this one is about money. This course is called Money is Free. That's right, you heard it. Money is free. And if you've ever wanted to take your income level to another level, if you wanted to change your whole financial situation around, you will not manifest money until you understand that money is literally free and it's waiting for you to claim it. How you claim it is from within. It can't be done on the outside. So what it's going to look like is December 8th at 11 a.m. Central Time. It's going to be a live event where I show up live, and I'm going to walk you all through everything that you need to know about manifesting money, changing your money, identity, your beliefs, all of that. It's going to make so much sense. It's really going to be a course that's highly focused on deprogramming you from all the money crap that you've ever known and aligning you, showing you how to align to the money that you want. And that's different for everybody, but the basis is all the same. So if you're interested, it is going to be about 2 to 3 hours. And then the last 45 minutes to an hour, however long it takes, I'm going to be live, and I want to answer all of your questions related to money in your business, to whatever it is related to money. That's what we're going to be answering at the end. So I'm going to stick around and answer all of your questions. And the first part, again, is you're going to unlearn, and so that you can build up who you really want to be, because you got to see what you've been doing to yourself. And for some people, they may not need to do that, and they can just go right into assuming. However, when your old identity comes in, and I've said this before, a lot of people manifest money or they manifest things, and then they quickly lose them. They lose them because they're still operating from the old identity. Doesn't mean you won't manifest. It doesn't mean you can't manifest without changing your identity. No, that's not true. However, what you will notice is that you will, if you don't let go of that old version of you with money, you'll continue to manifest and lose it. Manifest and something will happen, because that old version of you will put your butt back in your chair so fast, you'll wonder what you did wrong. You did nothing wrong. And that's what you want to move out of, so that you can actually manifest the money, the wealth, the abundance that you truly are and already have and already deserve. So it's not about affirmations. There's no sleep tapes, and there's no secret. You have to say this and that and the other in this course. No, I'm going to give it to you straight. I'm going to give it to you straight, and everything that you want to hear in this course, followed by all the live Q&A. So again, you can go to rosielife.com to read more information about that, and you can shoot me an email if you have any questions about it as well. Okay, so let's get back into reaction, because this is actually a topic that I go into detail in this money course as well, but I want to share some of that with you here now. Okay, so here is reaction. Okay, that's you. So this is what most people are used to doing. There's a thing or a person, right? There's some circumstance or a person that they see or hear or witness or notice, whether that could be your bank account, that could be a person, that could be something going on in your life, that could be a doctor telling you some news, that could be anything, whatever it is. Let's just keep it generic, okay? And know that no matter what it is, it fits in there. No matter what it is that you're thinking about, it's in there. Put that in there right now in your mind. Right now, I want you all to put that in. In fact, don't forget, I want to see your light bulb moments going off in the comments. Okay, so no matter what it is that you desire, I want you to put it in there, okay? This is you. What most people are doing is they're reacting to the thing or person, all right? And this can include yourself, by the way. It could be your own thoughts, your own feelings, and here you are. It's just you and those things, okay? So what you do is when you react, what you do is you're sending it your energy. Because remember, all you are is energy. That's all you are. That's all we all are. We're all energy. That's it. And energy is our awareness, is our attention. And whatever you are giving your awareness to, your power of your awareness, your power of your attention, your power of your concentration, your focus, whatever you're giving that to, right? Whatever you are giving your attention to, through your reactions, right? You're giving it your power. You're giving it your authority. You're letting it survive. You're letting it be alive. You're giving it, you're feeding it, you're watering it. You're going and buying it little Happy Meals and buying it new outfits. You're giving it your attention, and you think you're reacting to it because it's justified, because someone pissed you off, because someone cut you off, because you think someone scammed you, or because or this isn't working, or whatever. Somehow, some way, your reaction feels very justified, and you get angry, pissed off, or sad. And this includes, you'll react to your own self. And this will get you nowhere. This will get you nowhere. So we're going to talk about, at the end, stick with me, because I'm going to walk you through how to get yourself out of this for once and for all. So this thing or person that you're reacting to, it is controlling you. You reacting to something in an unwanted way, and I'm not talking about a pleasant response. I'm not talking about happiness and joy. I'm talking about everything else that you guys are going through, everything else that you guys have been feeling. This is what you've been taught: to stand up for yourself, fight back, defend yourself, push against, draw boundaries. How many times have I heard this? So many times. Don't I have to draw a boundary, right? This is how people have thought. Defend yourself, stick up for yourself, scream louder, speak up, demand to be heard, don't let anybody walk all over you, all of those things. I'm sure you guys are familiar with those. All of that is reaction, because you think that thing or person or that circumstance is against you. The bank account's against you. The people at the bank are against you. The government's against you. Your boss is against you. Your family's against you. Your in-laws are against you. Those people are against you. That country doesn't like you. That city doesn't like you. The people in that country don't like you. They don't like people like you. Do you see, like, I love watching travel videos, like on TikTok and stuff, because I love travel. I love countries, and I just imagine myself going to every single one of these countries as I'm watching someone there, and they're like shopping and eating, and but at the same time, I'll listen to them start bitching and complaining, like, well, As a woman, as a man, as this kind of person, they don't really like us. I wouldn't recommend that you go there because they don't really like people like us. They don't treat people very good. And the reaction, complete reaction. Do you see? So when you react to the thing or the person or the country or whatever it is, your bank account, whatever it is, you're giving it permission to continue showing up the way it is. You're saying, I give you permission to continue being mean to me, to run away from me, to remove yourself from my bank account. I'm giving you permission to keep doing the thing that I don't like. I'm giving you permission to keep doing it more and more and more. That's what I want you guys to really get through, that's what reaction does. You are causing, because remember, you are causing that thing to continuously show up. It doesn't matter how it started, who started it, when it started, if it started 1,000 years ago or 1 minute ago. It doesn't matter when, who, why, where, what, when. You know why? Because the only thing that matters is you. That you no longer want to experience this thing. But every time you react to it in the same old way, you're going to get the same old result over and over and over and over and over again. I hope that got really clear. I know it got clear. I know you guys heard this. You might have heard it before, but you really heard it today. You heard it loud and clear here today. So not only is this thing or person that you've been reacting to, including your own thoughts and feelings, don't forget, not only is that thing controlling you, right? You're not in control. You think standing up and saying, I'm going to show them. Oh no, that thing or person is controlling you. And you're standing up, defending yourself. You refuse to be happy. You refuse to be satisfied because this thing or this person is not showing up the way that you want it to. And until then, you feel like you need to fight. This is why a lot of you are so manifesting, using millions of techniques and beating yourselves, beating your heads against the wall with all these different techniques, because you're so used to defending, reacting, and you think that doing is going to get your result. Remember, every time you try to make it, that thing controls you. That thing becomes your water. You're thirsty. And that thing, you look at it as your source of water. It's your source. You're not source. You're not source of the desire. This is the source of your desire. This is source. This becomes your God. This becomes the answer, your answer. You're not the answer. You're not source. You're not God. You're not the water. You're not life. That thing is. That person is. That's what you do. Every time you react, you're giving it your energy, your awareness, your attention. And you're saying, here you go. Be in charge of me. I hope you guys got the ick when you heard that. Because I remember the first time I heard that, I was just like, gross. I don't like anything or anyone controlling me. So, remember, these things can be pissing you off, making you sad, making you anxious, right? Relief, safe. You're looking to these things so that you can feel relief, so you can feel safe. You keep waiting for it or they to change before you allow yourself to feel good, relief, or fulfilled. You keep looking for this thing to either go away, like a lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to manifest this person to disappear from the office because I can't stand them. You're waiting, you're like, oh, and then I'll feel relief. Hey, guess what? Because you're still the same old version of you. Someone else is replacing that person. It might be even more annoying than the last one that you just got rid of. You're powerful. Yep, you made that one happen. And you're going to have to keep your antennas on because the universe is going to keep bringing them in like a revolving door. And you're going to have to keep getting rid of them because you'll never be happy, satisfied. Because you see that person as them leaving from your life. You'll see that as your God, as the answer as to why you can feel relief. Same thing with money, same thing with people, same thing with anything. You will worship everything outside of you as, look to it as your source. Whew. Reaction is a survival instinct. Okay, what do I mean by this? Reaction is a survival instinct. It's something that we all have as human beings, and what we have built into us before we were aware of who we are. So a survival instinct is something for food, water, shelter. The five senses are survival instincts. These are survival instincts. Reaction is something that we've been taught and we believe that keeps us safe, protects us. It's what's best for us. We believe that we need to do this. So reaction is always going to come from a high emotional state. You're going to think something, and it's usually from your identity. You're going to have a thought, you're going to think a thought, and then you're going to notice that you feel a certain way about that. And then you're going to make a quick reaction. You're going to react to it. But the reaction is an effect. It's not cause. It's not source. Your story, what you are thinking, what you're assuming is what caused you to have a certain feeling and then have that reaction. That's how it works. So your reactions are highly emotional, and that you have deemed as normal. You've deemed reacting to your own thoughts and feelings, to people, to places, to circumstances, to your bank account, to the conditions, to all of those things. You've deemed that as normal. That's what reaction is. Remember, it's just a survival mechanism for those who are unaware of who they are. So, and if you're watching this video, you're aware of who you are. You cannot be on my channel and not be aware of who you are. There's no way. Okay? So you can't say, oh yeah, that's me, No, that was you. That's not you now. Stop saying that was you. You can't, like I said, you cannot be watching this content on my channel and not be aware of who you are. I know you are. I know you are. Okay? Mabel, as you guys know, my dog, Mabel's reactive, right? She reacts to all kinds of stuff, but she has to learn over time that certain things are not deemable for her to react to anymore. But yet she might be chill and learned how to be chill now, but if I take her to a new part of the city, she'll be reactive again. She'll go back into her survival instinct because she's unfamiliar with something. So when you're reacting, it's a lot of unfamiliarity. You don't feel safe. You don't feel like everything's okay. And that's the survival instinct, okay? So I want you to remember this. Reaction, every time you reaction, remember you're reacting it. You react, so you're reacting it. You're take 5, take 6, take 7, take a million, do you see? You keep reacting. Every time you react, you are recreating the thing you like or dislike, because remember, this is just not about dislike. You also, when you react to something that is nice or fun or wanted, right, you're recreating it. So you're also doing that with things that you dislike, with your own thoughts. If you wake up every morning and you're like, oh man, I woke up this morning and again I realized that I don't have what I want. That's reacting to your own thought. You get to choose. We're going to get to that in a second. When you react, you're recreating the thing you like or dislike. So stop taking the bait from your own creations. You just forgot. You made everything in your reality right now, you created, you put there. Whether knowingly or unknowingly, doesn't matter, but you put it there. You just forgot. So responding, so that's reaction. I used to teach this to my clients as a psychotherapist, by the way. And once they got this, they were gold. They were Gucci. They got it. Their relationships changed, their life changed, their I remember their experience at work, at their businesses changed, with their employees it changed, their behaviors as a business owner changed, their employees changed, everything started changing just with this one thing, you guys. This one thing has so much power to change your life. You can only experience it. I could tell you, it's funny, when I was in Hawaii, when I went horseback riding, they asked us to ride over to the big, a big, I want to say bowl, but it wasn't a bowl, this big tank of water. And they said, go ahead and bring your horses over there, ride your horses over there before we go on the trail, and let them drink. So I took my horse over there, and my horse didn't want to drink. And I started laughing. And I'm like, that's what we've heard a million times, right? You can take a horse to water, but you can't make him drink, right? You can do all kinds of stuff with a horse, but you can't force them, because they read your energy. They read it. And if it doesn't want to drink, it's not going to drink. You can't make it. You just can't make it. So, and I watched all these people trying to get their horses to drink. They're like, come on, come on. And they're like, and the horse would walk away, and they'd bring the horse back. And they're like, they're not drinking, man. Just stop. Yeah, I felt like saying, stop trying to make them drink that water, because they're not going to. They just stood around. They stood over it. They're looking at themselves, their own reflection in the water, probably saying, oh, I got to deal with this woman for 2.5 hours. Not me, but them, right? It's like they were not interested. And these people were just like, do it. Something's wrong with my horse. I'm like, I heard all kinds of comments like, you can't force it. You can't force anything. In fact, you don't want to force anything. And reacting is forcing. You're trying to force yourself to not feel something, and you're trying to force yourself to feel something. You're still trying to force it. So responding, on the other hand, that's smart. That's self-mastery. That is a high level of self-mastery. When you know to respond, you're in control, baby. You are in control. I don't care what the situation is. I don't care how horrible it looks. I don't care how scary it sounds. When you can respond, damn, that's it right there. Responding is choosing. That's why. When you're reacting, remember, it's highly emotional, and your thinking is out the window. The fight or flight kicked in. You can't respond. You can't think when you're reacting, when you're emotional. You can, when you're responding, you're still in charge. It could be the same shit situation, but you can either react to it or you can respond to it. It doesn't matter what it is. It does not matter what the situation is. You always can respond or react. You're just so used to reacting. And I know after this video, I know you guys are going to have a big shift in this, because you can respond. It doesn't matter how long you've been reacting. It doesn't matter, right? You just now became aware. I helped you become aware of why you've been reacting your whole life, and now how you can actually respond. And I'm going to give you a little technique for you guys to use at the end of this video on helping you do this. Really easy. Responding is choosing. You can tell yourself, how will I choose to look at this? How will I choose to look at this? Because whatever it is, person, place, or thing, it will never change. I don't care if you're traveling and you're saying that everybody in this city's being mean to you, or they're looking at you a funny way, or they're being racist, or they're being disrespectful, or whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is, your bank account balance, whatever it is, it will never change until I see it differently. I'm going to read this again, and I really want you guys to clock into this. How will I choose to look at this? Because it will never change until I see it differently. How do you expect your reality to change if you don't choose differently? How do you expect your reality to change, to look differently, if you won't see it differently? You're waiting for it to change. You're waiting for it to be different so that you can feel different, so that you could see it different. But it doesn't work like that. You must see it differently. You must feel differently about it before it can be different for you. I want you to pause the video and hear that again as many times as you need to. So stop, drop, and roll. This is something that many of you have already heard of. I have it in my 3D in Me mini course, and I talk about this. This is one of the things and examples that I talk about there. So instead of reacting to something, like let's say that you hear some unwanted news, and yes, you can react because your old version of you're going to notice. And by the way, you guys, stop thinking that this is a freaking instant thing that's going to change overnight your whole life. This is something that you practice. This is a lifestyle. This isn't like about instant manifestation, 24-hour turnaround, change your life in 1 day, change your life in 3 days. If you didn't manifest it by now, you're screwing it up. You're doing something wrong. If that's you, right? If that's still you, then this is not self-mastery. That's just vending machine manifesting. I don't teach vending machine manifesting on this channel. Okay, you are going to be doing these practices or these thoughts for the rest of your life. Why? Because you're in a human body. You're having a human experience, and you have human emotions. You have human feelings. You have human thoughts. And you're not here to eliminate them and make them dormant and go away. That's not going to happen. You're here to master you, to awaken the true you, to who is it? I think it's Tony Robbins says, awaken the giant in you. That's what you're doing. You've awoken the giant in you, or I should say, the giant has awoken itself in you. That's what I love. I read that with Neville Goddard. He said, it will awaken within you. You didn't ask to be here. You didn't ask to be who you are. So who is lying asleep in you will awaken in you. He put himself in you, and he will awaken in you. That is source, God, universe. That is who is within you, within us all, and he will awaken itself within you. You're not doing the work. You're not doing it. I know you guys think you're doing it, but you're not. God's awakening himself in you, as you, through you. You're not doing nothing. God is doing all the awakening through you. So the stop, drop, and roll is when you have, let's say, for example, you receive some unwanted news. You can react to it and get all emotional and get mad, pissed off, whatever. You can spiral because there's a deadline, or it has to be done a certain way, or whatever. And you can react. You can react to time. You can react to your thoughts. You can react to your landlord, to the bank. You can react to whoever it is, right? Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Plug and play. Or you can respond. So next time you have any unwanted situation, whether it's your own thoughts and feelings, whether it's a circumstance, I want you to remember this: stop, drop, and roll. I can choose. Maybe the first time is not going to be so smooth. Maybe the first time you do react, but this time you are aware. You're just like, oh shit, I just reacted. Okay, doesn't matter if I react or not, but the cool thing is that I noticed that I reacted. Before I wouldn't have noticed. Now I'm noticing. Cool. This is amazing. Okay. The next time you're going to be like, hold the phone. I can react or respond. The impulse is going to be to react, but I don't want to, because until I see things differently, those things don't change. Remember. So I'm going to choose to respond. And it might feel hard, because you're just so used to reacting. It doesn't matter. Really, none of it matters, right? I'm going to choose to respond. Okay, that stop stop. Which one am I going to go with? I'm going to react or I'm going to respond. Because until I start looking at everything differently, until I start feeling differently about everything, nothing can change. Okay? Got it. I'm going to respond. Okay, how do I want to look at this? How do I want to look at this? And how do I want to feel about this? What am I going to make this mean? Because this thing that's happening, it doesn't mean anything, because remember, nothing has built-in meaning to it. Nothing, not one single thing has built-in meaning to it. So how do I want to look at this? What do I want to say this means, right? And then that's the dropping into my awareness, knowing that I get to choose what I make it mean. You drop into that awareness of knowing that everything is meaningless, and that I get to decide how I want to look at it. And or you can drop into yourself, which is the one that I prefer. So, many times I prefer. Sometimes I do what I just said, but many times what I do is I'm indifferent. I drop within my awareness and go into that stillness. It's kind of like I was meditating this morning, and I thought, you know how if you're like walking by maybe shops or whatever, shops, or you're down a neighborhood and you're looking at different storefronts and you're just like peeking in the window and you're just like, there's really nothing in there. And then you just keep walking and you go to something that looks all exciting and the music's pounding coming out of the storefront or whatever. And then you walk by another store and it looks dead. Like it looks closed, like there's no merchandise in there, there's nothing. You just keep walking, you go past it, right? That storefront that has nothing in there, that looks like there's nothing in there, that dark, empty space, right? That's dropping into awareness. You're dropping into that empty, dark storefront that there's nothing in there. And you're just allowing yourself to go back to that, to the nothingness of that blank slate. You're just like wiping it clean, clearing the cache, clearing all the cookies from your internet, right? You're just wiping everything clean. You're just like, you know what? I'm gonna drop into myself and go into that. Because that silent, everything, all, those little stores or shops or that people just keep walking by, and they're like drawn like little sheep to the noise, to the sounds, to the flowers, to the little puppies barking and jumping around, they're drawn to the something, right? People don't want to stop and look into a black, dark room. There's nothing in there. There's nothing to look at. There's nothing there. Let's keep walking, right? I want you to imagine that that's what you're doing when you're dropping in. You're dropping into that nothingness. The nothingness yet is everything. That's the key. That is the key. Everyone thinks that being still and dropping into that silence, dropping into that dark, that seemingly darkness of nothingness, right? It feels dark, but it's not. It's actually the light. It's just the nothingness, right? It's just dropping into that space within energetically, meaning there's no thoughts going on, there's no feelings going on, there's no ideas, there's no conceptualizations, there's no law of this, law of that, there's no Neville, there's none of this shit, okay? There's no YouTube, there's no nothing. There's just nothing. That's dropping within, because that is what is like a lot of teachers in this book that I'm reading, Parallel Universes, he talks about that being that 0 point of nothing. Because when you go there, that's like going home base. It's like your touchstone. And you can, you just touchstone that. And then you take a breath. And then you roll with what's going on in front of you. But knowing that that this is not your preference. This is not your choice. This is not who you said you are. You just roll with what's in front of you, but understanding that this is not who you are anymore. What you're observing is not who you are. who you are is you've already decided that. You've already declared, and you can reaffirm it or imagine it quickly in that moment or whatever, but only after you come back to that, you drop within. Do you see? You drop within. What a lot of people do is they like to run to affirming on top of the unwanted. No, that's not what I want. I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. And that might work for you, right? It's like some people, like, I call that putting a Band-Aid on top of it, because you're afraid you're going to bleed out if you don't affirm on top of it, if you don't give it a new affirmation, if you don't flip the thought, if you don't do this, if you don't do that, that you got to do something about this. And they're just like, 911, I don't want to feel this. I can't do this. I got to affirm on top of it. But then a lot of people tell me that they feel so much anxiety from trying that. And if it doesn't, if you feel really good doing that, then by all means keep doing it. But if it causes you anxiety and frustration and you keep saying, I'm not seeing any changes, then I say stop and drop within. I'm telling you guys, there's literally nothing you have to do, because everything that you want is already created. You're just practicing mastering you by being still and know that you are God. That's where that scripture comes from, right? And when you drop and you go into that 0 point, or that drop into that nothingness, right? That scripture is to be absent of the body is to be present with the Lord. You're like being absent of the body, of its senses, of the circumstances, of what it sees, hears, and touches, right? You're being absent from that. And when you're doing that, that stillness is you being present with the Lord, instead of going, there's nothing in here. I don't got time to be still and to sit here and meditate. And it's like, it's not doing nothing, right? Because we're so used to inserting and doing and trying and efforting and reacting. We're so used to that we're just like, what the hell is stillness going to do? It's everything. That stillness is where all your power is. That stillness is who you really are. Your body will die. This body will die. The things in your life will change. Everything will change, but that stillness is always there. And I think it was in that show, I remember, or if I read it. It doesn't matter. If you're crying, that stillness is there. If you're happy and you're having amazing sex, or you're having fun, you're on a roller coaster, that stillness is still there. If you're freaking out over a bill or freaking out over a situation, that stillness is there. If you're getting bad news from a doctor, that stillness is there. If you just won $1 million, that stillness is there. That stillness has always been there and will always be there, because that is who you are. That's what you're aligning with. That's what you're coming back to when you just drop within, to that stillness, that unexplainable. It has no thought. It has no feeling. As soon as you think about it, the stillness is behind that thought too. So you just being still is your existence. You don't have to try to find it, because you're already it. You just have to be still. Stop reacting like a robot, and you'll find the stillness in your power, and you'll see how everything just smoothly comes into your life. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and can't wait to see your comments. And don't forget, December 8th, if you're interested, go to rosielife.com. I'll put the link down below as well. All right, bye.